NASA is going back to the moon, and the internet is losing its mind about the cameras. Some blogs are shouting Sony Alpha, others swear it's Nikon, and then you've got astronauts snapping selfies with iPhones. So what's the actual truth here? We're going to go through it in detail in this video in a fair, balanced, and non-fanboy way. But spoiler alert, from what I can tell, there are no Sony cameras in space, not with NASA, not with the Russians, or the Chinese. In fact, I have most of the preferred equipment in studio right now. So welcome to tech journalism in 2026. DIY photography, Sony addict, Australian photography all ran headlines saying Sony is the official Artemis camera partner. They even had quotes and claimed that the NASA administrator Jared Isaacman and Sony CEO Hiroki Totoki made a joint announcement at the Kennedy Space Center earlier this week, even with totally convincing mock-up photos of a Sony camera on the surface of the moon. Now, that sounds dramatic and really official, right? Except there's no trace of it on nasa.gov, and Sony's newsroom, silent. I think it started as an April Fool's joke, but then sloppy reporting and some wishful thinking, it just got picked up and republished, and enough people saw it that a lot of people actually started to believe it. It's like the internet collectively decided, wouldn't it be cool if Sony was the moon camera, and then just published it. Kind of like me announcing, I'm now the official candid portrait photographer for the next Mars mission. If I say it enough times and loudly enough, maybe somebody will believe me and start reposting it. Look, whether you're shooting the current space camera, the former space camera, or the wannabe space camera, I've got setup guides that walk you through each of the different camera systems, their menus, customization and workflow, and how you can set them up for your specific style of shooting, whether you're shooting weddings, events, or going to the moon. We'll have full links below. So look, here's the facts. In 2024, NASA signed the Space Act Agreement with Nikon to develop the Handheld Universal Lunar Camera, or HULC. It's based on the Nikon Z9, modified with thermal blankets, radiation shielding, and redesigned controls so the astronauts can use it with their biggest bulky gloves. That's official, straight from nasa.gov. And no surprise, there were media releases and Nikon made a lot of noise about it as well. That's official. On Artemis 2, Orion capsule is carrying both a D5 and Z9 cameras for high-res stills. There's also 31 GoPro Hero 4 Blacks mounted inside and outside the spacecraft to capture the crew activities, the launch, solar array deployment, and all of that kind of thing. And yes, astronauts are even using the front camera on an iPhone 17 Pro Max to snap shots back of the Earth. That's the actual camera manifest: Nikon, GoPro, and iPhones. No Sony in sight. So if you're keeping score, Hasselblad got Apollo, Nikon got Artemis, GoPro got the solar arrays, Apple got the astronaut selfies, Sony got ignored. So quick rewind, the Apollo astronauts carried Hasselblad 500 EL data cameras with Zeiss lenses. They also had a Mora 16mm film camera and Westinghouse TV cameras for the first moon broadcast, and later RCA color cameras. Of course, Omega Speedmaster watches, the only certified watch for lunar EVA, that's NASA speak for a moonwalk, that there's ever been. Fast forward to the shuttle and International Space Station era, and Nikon dominated. F3 film cameras, then DSLRs like the D2XS, D3, D5, D6, and then eventually the Z9. Canon camcorders have also filled in for video throughout that time. Between them, astronauts have captured over 6 million images aboard the ISS, and Nikon has been the workhorse of space photography for decades. So here's the part that nobody seems to talk about, which is why they choose what they choose. Now, I spoke to a photographer who's worked in an official capacity shooting space-related activities at orbit altitude. I'm not going to name them as I haven't seen them publicly discuss this topic, so I don't want to drop them into a cosmic fanboy hissy fit. Essentially, to figure out what to use, they tested multiple brands: Sony, Hasselblad, Nikon, and more, with many manufacturers actually reaching out wanting to sponsor the work to get, coverage from it. That photographer's verdict was that the Nikon mirrorless won out for them, not because of megapixels or frames per second, but because of survival. The other brands' LCDs just blacked out under the pressure, making the rear screen, viewfinder, and top screens useless. I believe that the Hasselblad's latest X cameras did work well and had amazing image quality, but they felt that the system was too touchscreen dependent, which just doesn't work when you're wearing protective space gloves, and this wasn't a NASA mission where they could have things customized. Consider that Sony's cameras all basically have the same form factor, and their flagships have a lot of buttons crammed into a small amount of space. Whereas Nikon's Ergonomics, with bigger buttons, reliable dials, they were simply the most usable in those conditions. So when you see me holding up a Z9 or a D5 or the Hasselblad, this is the real comparison. It's not about fanboy wars or spec sheets, it's about which body could withstand the elements and still be operable when you're wearing PPE at orbit altitude. That's why NASA chose what they chose. And to be clear, the HULC, or the Handheld Universal Lunar Camera, has been specially modified beyond the standard Z9 to withstand the special requirements of the mission. If something goes down when you're in orbit, I don't think even B&H Photo or Nikon Professional Services can overnight ship you a replacement camera to the moon. And to be clear, it's not just NASA. The Russians historically have used Zenit film cameras, then they also switched to Nikon DSLRs on the ISS, the same as NASA. The Chinese aboard the Tiangong rely on their own HD cameras and external imaging systems. So across agencies, the story is consistent. Nikon dominates in modern space exploration. Hasselblad is the Apollo legacy. GoPros and iPhones fill in the gaps. And Sony, well, they're still waiting for their ticket to the party. To repeat, I can't find any evidence that any Sony camera has ever been flown on a space mission. Not with NASA, not with Roscosmos, and not with the Chinese space program either. Every credible record points to Hasselblad, Nikon, GoPro, and iPhones. And the Sony claims it's pure fanboy fiction, I think. At the end of the day, it's not about fanboy wars or spec sheets. It's about what gets the job done in the harshest conditions imaginable. It's the same way we choose the gear that we use on our jobs as well. It's not about whose camera brand is the best, mine's better than yours, or who's got the best spec sheet. It's about what gets the job done and ergonomics. It's a pragmatic and neutral decision. Except in this case where clearly Nikon is in fact the best.